Ramsey, Blinky Eyes Animated Display. Hello everyone. As I said, this is the Ramsey Blinky Eyes Animated Display. What it does, once I plug it in, you'll see different animated patterns come from the LEDs here. And what's cool about this is that it has a special photo cell here in the back, where it's very sensitive to light. And the way that works, it's on the back simply because if the LEDs were on, it would affect that right away. So that's why it's in the back. And there's 3 different modes. Once I plug it in to the power here, it starts to do what it wants to do depending on which jumper block is in its slot. There are 3 jumper blocks. The first one controls whether or not the animated display is mostly on or mostly off. Right now, because it's in, it means that it's mostly off, which means once I plug it in, I haven't really timed it, but I'd say about every 3 to 5 seconds it'll display some kind of pattern. Okay. Once I take the first jumper block out, it'll just continuously do, whatever the second jumper block is set to do. So the second jumper block, when it's in what's it called? Random mode. And random mode is exactly what it sounds like. You'll see random patterns and lights come on. When the middle jumper 2 block is out, it enters fire mode. That one's a really cool mode, but I'll save that for the end. And the third jumper block, this one controls whether or not the animated display is in dimmer mode. When the jumper block is in, it means that it's sensitive to light, and that when the lights are on, the animated display is off. Once I turn off the lights, the animated display turns on. And then depending on the jumper block 2, will determine whether or not it's going to enter random mode or fire mode, which I'll again show you guys later. When the third jumper block is out, it enters dimmer mode, and dimmer mode is exactly what it sounds like. As the intensity of the light in the room increases, the animated display, the lights start to dim. As the lights in the room start to dim, the animated display gets brighter. Now I don't have a dimmer to accurately show this, but I'll try my best. The first thing I want to do, it'll show it off best, is if I remove the first jumper block. That way, actually, you know what? I'll leave it in. I'll leave it in so you'll get to see the difference between whether or not this is going to be mostly on or mostly off. Right now, it's going to be mostly off. The third jumper block is in, which means that once I plug it in, the lights will turn on, but when I turn off the lights in the room, the animated display will turn off. So we're going to give that a go. Handy dandy power cord. Here we go. Alright, looks like it already picked up the fact that the lights are off in the room, on in the room. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the lights and have this bad boy turn on. And nothing. Okay, so what this means, because the first jumper block is in, it's mostly off, right? This is kind of what I suspected. It's mostly off, so I don't really know when it's going to turn on. If I were to remove it, then I'll know, it's going to turn on right away. But we'll try this again. Turn off the lights. And turn it on. Alright, you're making me look bad here. Okay, there we go. Now it should definitely work. There you go. There you go. So the first jumper block is out, which means it's mostly on. So it had to work automatically, turning off the lights. And it's going to be displaying random patterns because the middle jumper block is in. So you get all these really cool patterns. Now once again, if I were to put that first jumper block in, it'll really change the way this thing behaves. I'll try to show you that here. As you see all these. See, it's non-stop patterns with the jumper block in. I'll try to do this in the dark here. There you go. It should remain fixed. And then in a few moments it'll display a new pattern. There you go. And it'll continue doing that for as long as I have that first jumper. See, it just stays like that. This is really cool if I have this on display somewhere and I don't want it to always show a pattern. if I do want it to always show a pattern, I remove this, and it's just going to go crazy. I'll skip the second jumper block, because that's the finale. Then let's go ahead now and turn on the lights. When the lights turn on, this should turn off. Ready? There you go. It's like magic. And it's all because of this beautiful photo cell in the back here. So once again, turning off the lights will have this turn on. One more time. And again. And again. That's fun. Okay, so I'll try to display the dimmer mode, which is the third jumper block. I'm going to remove the third jumper block. And I don't know if you can really tell the difference from this camera and the lighting in the room, but it's not at its fullest. It's full intensity. It's not at its brightest. But if I had a dimmer right now in the room, as I dim the lights in the room, this should get brighter. So in essence, with the lights off, it should get brighter. There you go. I don't know if you can see the difference. Let's turn the lights back on, and it should be a little darker. Again, it's hard to tell because I don't have a true dimmer in this room. So I'm going to go ahead and put back the third jumper block here, and that'll exit dimmer mode and enter on off mode, I guess you call it. See, that's why the lights are off, because the lights in the room are still on. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and enter fire mode. Now with fire mode, what's interesting is that when I first tested it, it really creeped me out. Okay, like, I'm not even kidding, like, this is really going to affect you. You're going to have to sleep with one eye open. Basically, once I remove this jumper block here in the middle, it's going to enter fire mode. And fire mode happens once the lights in the room turn off. So, I hope you're ready. Ah! Tell me that's not creepy. Can you imagine that from far away? Something coming at you? Alright. Thank you all for watching. It's been a blast working with you guys. Time to go.